use Number Pro in conjunction with some of your favorite desktop publishing software like CorelDRAW, InDesign, Microsoft Publisher, and Microsoft Word to do some sequential numbering, such as raffle tickets, event tickets, benefit tickets, maybe invoices, various different uses. But in this example, I'm going to use InDesign. Now, is what I have on the screen right now is InDesign opened with a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And I'm going to lay out some raffle tickets which we are going to number, okay? Now I'm going to lay out 8 raffle tickets to a sheet of paper, and I've already did my calculations of the size I need. So I'm going to grab in InDesign, I'm going to grab my object box here. I'm just going to pull it out here. If I click in the middle of it, I'm going to adjust the size I need. And for these tickets to be laid out 4 across at the top, 4 across at the bottom, my width needs to be 2.125 and my height needs to be 5.5, a half a sheet of paper. Okay, and as you see, that created a whole new box for me. So I'm going to click my arrow key here, highlight this one up here and delete it since I no longer need it. And I am going to place this in the upper left hand corner. Now since I am using Windows, I can use the command Control D to insert the image, or you can go up to File and Place, and click that as well. But anyway, I'm going to use Control D. Now I've already created a raffle ticket in InDesign, which I'm going to import, okay? And I did that just to save some time. Okay, so there's the ticket, raffle ticket I created. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, or Control C to copy, and Control V to paste. And then I'm just going to move this into position. I'm going to do it again, Control V, and move it into position. And I'm going to do this for all 8, and I'll be back in just a minute. To an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Now is what I want to do is number them. So let's just say I want to do, I don't know, 500 of these. So we're going to number these 1 to 500. What we'll do then is we're going to log in to Number Pro. Once we access the members area, this is the interface right here that we will come up with. So we want to start our number at number 1. And by the way, you can start your number at anything you want. If the customer wants to start at 100, enter 100. Ending number, we said 500, I believe, so we'll do 500. Number of spots. Number of spots is if you want zeros in front of the number. So since we're doing 500, which has 3 spots in it, if I enter 3 here, my first number 1, is going to be 001. Okay. Now you can leave that number of spots at 1, and your first ticket's going to be just number 1 without any zeros in front of it. All right. Repeating amount. Repeating amount is always going to be a default setting of 1. The only time this is going to change is if you're doing something like numbering like some NCR documents that have, which is a non-carbonless paper, when you have multiple copies. And NCR comes in, I believe, sets of 2, 3, and 4. So you would change that based on how many you need there. But by default, it'll be 1. Now the document repeats. We've already shown earlier that we're laying these out 8 to a sheet. So the document's going to repeat 8 times. And prefix is going to be anything prior to that, prior to the ticket number. So in this case, I'm just going to use the standard N 0 period space that appears before that. Okay. Now we're going to click the generate. Now when we click the generate tab, this is what's going to create the data merge file that we need. Okay. So we're going to click that. And I should get this pop up, and it's always going to be named by default as output text. Okay, so I am going to save it anywhere on my computer that I can find it, and I'm going to save it. Generally, when I create my output text, I rename them specifically to the project I'm doing. Like I would typically rename this 1-500 8 up. That way I know the numbering is 1 to 500, and I'm doing something that's laid out 8 up. But just so you know. All right. So now we're going to go back into InDesign. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to create some text boxes that we can import this data merge information. So I'm going to go over to my text, and I'm going to create some text boxes here. But let me zoom in here real quick. Just so we can see what's going on a little bit better. All right, so I've got my text highlighted here. I'm going to create a box. Okay. And before I do anything else, I want to set up this first box so that I can duplicate it. So I want this obviously centered. Okay. I want my numbering to be in red, and I want the font to be a 14 point, and let's do it, we'll keep Minion Pro, let's do it bold though, okay? Alright, now I'm going to show you how you can number these at both ends, but you don't have to do this, but I'll show you how to do this. But what we're going to basically do is we're going to click the arrow key so that the box is highlighted, and once again we're going to copy this. So we're going to go Control C, then we're going to go Control V, which will duplicate it, and we're going to drag it up into place. Okay, so Control V again, and that we're going to drag this up into place. Now, like I said, I'm going to number these both at the top and the bottom, because typically these will be perforated or have a stub going right across the top of this. So the customer gets the bottom half, and whoever the organization is gets the top half for the raffle, okay? And I'll be right back in a second after I finish creating all these boxes, because I'm going to, like I said, put one at the bottom and at the top. And I'll be right back after I finish this. Now, as you can see, I have 4 boxes across the top of the ticket, 4 on the bottom, and then for the 4 tickets on the bottom, I have 4 boxes on the top, 4 boxes on the bottom. Now, for the fun part, we're going to click on Data Merge. If you don't have Data Merge already opened in InDesign, you can find that by going to Window, Utilities, and then you'll see Data Merge right there, and then you can click on it. Mine's already open, so we're going to do Data Merge. And then right here in this upper right-hand corner, we're going to select the data source. Now that is the file we just created in Number Pro. And this should be it right here, our output.txt. We're going to click on that. We're going to open it. And as you will see, it's got number 1 through number 8, because we told Number Pro we had 8 to a sheep. So we're going to come over here and we're going to click the first box here, and we're going to click on number 1. Second box, number 2. so on and so forth. Number 4 for the top. Now, since we want these to have the same matching number at the bottom of the ticket and the top, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'll be right back when I finish up the bottom half. I've got number 5, number 5, number 6, number 6. So all these numbers will correspond for each ticket. Now, the only thing I don't like about this right now is that I'm not real happy with the layout because the numbering is too close to the top and your printer may cut this off slightly. So we're just going to highlight these boxes and move them down slightly. So I'm going to click on the first box, hold down my shift key, click on the second one, then the third one, then the fourth one, and then I can use my arrow key down on my keyboard and just move these down slightly just so they're off of the top of the page there. And I'm going to come down here to these as well. I just clicked on it, then I'm going to hold down my shift key, click on the next one, the next one, and the next one. And once again, use the arrow down key, get these away from the top, because that right here in the middle is where these are going to be cut. Okay. Now, I'm not real happy with how close these are to the bottoms either, so I'm going to just go do the same process I just did. I'm going to move these down just a little bit as well. So I'll be right back after I finish that. Now for the magic. We are going to click this bottom icon right here in InDesign. And we're going to click OK. And let InDesign do some magic here while it does all of its merging. Depending on how big your file is and how many you're numbering, this could take a while. But in this example, it should just take a few seconds here. And you'll see no overset text was generated when completing. Click OK. And as you can see now, as I zoom in here, we have ticket number 001. Scrolling back down to the bottom of this ticket, we have 001. Okay, now these are laid out in a stacking format, which means these will be printed to where if you have a cutter, once you cut these, number 2 is going to be right after number 1, number 3 is going to be right after number 2, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's all that is. We're going to get this out of the way here so we can see this here, and we're going to scroll down. And as you can see, as we scroll down, here's the second page with number 2, number 2, number 3, and so forth. And that's how easy it is to use in Number Pro with doing sequential numbering with your desktop publishing software. Now, the merge process is slightly different depending on whether you're using Publisher, Word, or CorelDRAW, but they all have a merge process. And on the website, there's some demo videos that'll walk you through and show you exactly how to do these depending on which piece of software that you have. Okay? And that's how easy it is to use. And I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and I hope it was pretty easy to understand. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please just reach out to us at supports@number-pro.com, and hey, we'll answer your questions. And thanks for checking us out. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.